So I've been an English teacher my entire adult life, and this is something I haven't talked about yet, but it might be the biggest barrier, right, stopping you from improving your English. It hides behind perfectionism, behind fear, behind the voice that says, "I'm not ready." It's the part of you that wants to look good, sound smart, and never feel embarrassed. It is your ego. Now, I don't mean arrogance, okay? Ego is that inner voice that says, don't look stupid, don't make mistakes, don't let people see you struggle. And it's trying to protect you, but it's actually stopping you from growing. You see, ego is the enemy of what you want. And I learned that from a book called Ego is the Enemy by Ryan Holiday. Great book, highly recommend. But it couldn't be more true in language learning, could it? Because what you want is to communicate, connect, and grow. But what your ego wants is to protect your image. Let me tell you about a time my ego completely got in the way. So when I was a teenager, I moved to France and I thought my French was pretty good. So one day I confidently joined a group conversation and I couldn't keep up. And I made some mistakes and they all laughed at me. Not in a cruel way, but I felt that wave of embarrassment and I went quiet. And for weeks after that, I avoided speaking. I told myself I needed to study more first. But really, I just didn't want to feel small again. And now I realize I wasn't trying to protect my confidence. I was trying to protect my ego. I didn't want to feel like a beginner again. But if there's anything I've learnt, it's this. If you can't be bad at something for a while, you will never get good at it. And the ego hates that truth. But your progress depends on it. So here are some tips for you. Tip 1, forget the image and focus on learning. You see, your ego wants to impress, right? But impressing people isn't the same as being impressive, right? What do I mean by that? Well, when you focus on how you appear, how you look, you stop learning. And when you focus on curiosity, everything opens up. So instead of asking, do I sound good? Ask, what can I notice, learn, or try right now? Because curiosity kills ego every time. Because ego says, I already know that. But curiosity says, let's find out. Right, tip 2, change what confidence means. We often think confidence means being perfect, but real confidence is being okay with imperfection. Real confidence is saying things like, I don't know that word yet. Can you repeat that, please? Let me try again. Those are the words of someone who is learning, not performing, right? And that's real strength. And the ego hates those moments, but they are the ones that really make you grow. Tip 3, separate yourself from your English. You see, your English level is not your worth. It's just a skill, like cooking, driving, or swimming, and that's all. One of the best lines I read somewhere said, separate what you do from who you are. And that's how you stay humble, open, and free to improve. Tip 4, laugh at yourself. You see, humor dissolves ego. In other words, laughing at yourself makes your ego smaller. So if you can laugh at your mistakes, you take away their power. When I first arrived in Korea in 2012, I wanted to be polite at my first company dinner, 회식 it's called, where everyone eats together, all the colleagues, and the school principal sat down in front of me. And instead of saying, 맛있게 드세요, like, please enjoy your meal, I said, 맛있게 먹어, 맛있게 먹어, which is like an informal way of saying it, right? Enjoy your food. But it's also like saying it to a child. So everyone suddenly stopped and burst into laughter, including the school principal. I had a laugh too. Years later, when my Korean got much better, those same teachers still joked about it, and it became one of those stories people never forget, because moments like that connects us, right? Being human connects us. Trying to be perfect doesn't. Tip 5, stop watching yourself when you speak. The more you analyze every sentence, the more unnatural you sound. So try this instead. Speak to connect, not to impress. Focus on meaning, not mistakes. Let the words flow and trust that fluency grows from freedom, not control. And the less attached you are to your own importance, the freer you are to learn. When I finally let go of my ego, something amazing happened. I started enjoying conversations again. I listened more, I learned faster, I made a ton of mistakes, but I laughed at them. And my fluency just improved so quickly, because ego wants to protect you from discomfort, but growth lives inside that discomfort. You see, every mistake is a doorway if you are humble enough to walk through it. You know, in Zen philosophy, there is a concept, an idea called shoshin, the beginner's mind. And it means approaching every moment with openness and curiosity, as if you are seeing it for the very first time. When you let go of the ego, that part that says, I already know, you return to the beginner's mind. And that's where real learning begins again. You know, the most fluent people I've ever met never stopped being beginners. They just learned to stay curious. Right, it is challenge time, so please finish this sentence. When I speak English, I will stop trying to impress and start trying to connect, learn, express myself honestly, say it out loud, write it down, and let it guide you this week. Now, if you're ready to take the next step to speak English without fear, come join one of my speaking groups. It's a friendly place to make mistakes, build your confidence, and actually practice your speaking. Because the best way to improve your speaking isn't by studying, it's by speaking. Right, here are my final thoughts then before I say goodbye to you all. Your ego We'll always say, don't look stupid, don't make a mistake, stay safe. But your heart knows something deeper. You see, you don't grow by protecting your pride. You grow by having the courage to be seen trying. You know, every great speaker, every confident learner, they've all stood exactly where you are now. Awkward, uncertain, brave enough to begin. So drop the mask, speak anyway, laugh at your mistakes, keep the beginner's mind, because language learning isn't about proving who you are. It's about uncovering who you really are and discovering just how much more you can become. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. And if you haven't seen this series before, please check it out. It's all about the psychological barriers that stop you from improving at English. All right, thanks again, and I'll see you in another video. Bye-bye.